Today's book spot, we are having a look at the Inside Edition's Marvel Vehicles Owner's Workshop Manual. This is written by Alex Irvine, who also did a whole bunch of other Marvel works, including Daredevil Noir, Iron Man Rapture, and some of the novels of the X-Men Days of Future Past. So he's quite the expert when it comes to Marvel books, and this is a great opportunity to have a look at the vehicles that encompass and are in the Marvel Universe. The front of the book has the Helicarrier. A really nice design on the front, and I like how they show the internal workings of the vehicles. It's a hard book too. It's like I was expecting it to be a softer book when initially I was wanting to order this, and it's a really hard, solid book. On the back, a couple of the examples: the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, the Goblin glider, and the Shield flying car, which kind of reminds me of the DeLorean. A brief read-up on the back says, discover the secrets of the iconic vehicles from the Marvel Comics universe. They may be best known for getting around under their own steam, but sometimes even Marvel superheroes need some extra torque. This Haynes manual takes an in-depth look at the amazing vehicles of the Marvel Comics universe, from the X-Men's supersonic jet, the Blackbird, to the mighty Shield Helicarrier that transports the Avengers into battle. It even goes under the hood of some of Marvel's most infamous supervillain vehicles, including the Goblin glider, the Hammer Helicarrier, and Thanos' Sanctuary-class spaceship. Also covering less-known modes of transport like Spider-Man's custom beach buggy, the Spider-Mobile. This lavishly illustrated book forms a comprehensive guide to the iconic vehicles that helped make the Marvel Universe so rich and compelling. Marvel Vehicles comes complete with schematics and in-depth technical information, making it essential for fans everywhere. You can head over also to www.insighteditions.com, the publishers of this book. So, as with most fashion, when we have a look at books, I'm not going to go through every single page because I really want you guys to pick up books like this. Really neat reference books. Spot's a huge fan when it comes to reference material books, and when things like this get released, I immediately want to pick them up. So inside you got your contents, the X vehicles, the Helicarriers, aircraft, gliders, spaceships, cars and vans, and motorcycles. Under X vehicles, we have the Blackbird, which gives you a description and operational history, the first Blackbird, and then further investigating, further looking at some examples, some comic panels showing you the Blackbird in action. Second generation of Blackbird as well. The second Blackbird took advantage of new aeronautical advances and used the basic fuselage of existing military spy planes, which were themselves developmental advances in the post-World War II reconnaissance aircraft that contributed elements to the original RS-150. It was assembled at the top-secret facility in cooperation with several defense contractors and then given a number of upgrades and augmentations by the X-Men. The original SR-71 seated only 2 members, but the X-Men's version could carry 7. It was also capable of Mach 4 speeds, much faster than the regular model. Then you've got yourself the inner workings of the Blackbird, showing you the different sections: 7-seat passenger crew cabin, communication, surveillance, flight control, fire control, instrumentation console, and some comic panel examples of the Blackbird in action. This was a really neat design of the Blackbird here. The 5th generation. Following the collapse of the X Corporation and the destruction of Xavier's mansion by Zorn, Cyclops commissioned Angel to build updated Blackbirds and design an underground hangar and maintenance facility as part of their headquarters. Then down below it says, at bottom right, the Blackbird here was created by the X-Men's enemy Kaga, with insectile flourishes reflecting Kaga's alliance with the alien brood. The X-Men commandeered it and turned it against Kaga and his creations. So it wasn't actually the 5th generation, but this is the augmented Blackbird, which does have a really insect look to it. Furthermore, thruster breakdown of the Blackbird here. Again, some panels. I mean, they spend a lot of time going through each vehicle. I like, because sometimes when you get reference guides, they give you one page. They basically say, here's the Blackbird, and then the next page over, you're hoping to read more, and then you end up seeing another vehicle. So, I mean, they spend a fair bit of time on the Blackbird. Here's the X-Copter. Then you've got a section for the Helicarriers. Read up of the Helicarrier. Schematics. I love saying schematics. Specs and features. Length varies with model. Typically, it's 1,100 to 1,400 feet. That is a very long ship. Weight varies by model. Typically, 100,000 to 115,000 tons. Crew capacity approximately 1,700. Independent of aircraft crew. Range is unlimited. Top speed 110 miles per hour. Surface 42 knots. Power plant Stark resilient arc reactor. Secondary emergency power provided by Tomahawk fusion core. And as we get further on, we got some examples from the comics of the Helicarrier here. Some images here as well. The monster hunting Helicarrier. There's the Hammer Helicarrier, along with the members of Hammer. And as we go through it further, we got the Quinjet, the 1960s era classic. Then we got the Quinjet number 2, which actually as well gives you model numbers. So flip it back there. This is model ST-2011. We got the Dagger Quinjet, Thunderbolts Quinjet, Shield Flying Car. Let's flip through. I want to find the Spider Buggy. It was always a ridiculous, yet very equally cool vehicle for Thor's Chariot. Deadpool Core B. Arthur. Love that. Some gliders. Gliders also I find are really interesting too. The Green Goblin gliders, the Hobgoblin gliders. Artwork in here is quite nice too. There's the Goblin glider tech specs post Thunderbolts 2013 model. There's the Jack-o'-lantern's Pogo platform, the Spider glider, Hobgoblin glider, Menace glider. Wasn't really a big fan of Menace. Hobgoblin glider. And we've got some spaceships. Again, Spot's not going to go through every single one of these because I really want you guys kind of just give you a sample. I want to give you guys a sample so that you guys can see the kind of cool things that you can find out there in your local bookstores. For example, that's what we were talking about. The Spider-Mobile Corona Motors CM-S1 Arachne. Always found it to be a ridiculous, again, and yet still very cool vehicle. There's Spider-Man with his spider buggy. And furthermore, the Sky Cycle 1. It's a really neat book. What I like that it has is it has a combination of comic panels. It has your read-ups, and then it has your text specs. I think if it had any one of those three independently and it didn't have anything else, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much, but I do like that it's got the text specs and the comic panels and the read-ups. The text specs schematics show you the inner workings of the vehicle, how the vehicle works, but then you've got the colored images on the side of comic panels where it was actually used and the very in-depth read-up. Today's book spot, we were having a look at the Marvel's Vehicle Owner's Workshop Manual. A really good book if you guys are into Marvel vehicles and how they work. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more book spots heading your way, and certainly thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you guys next time.